Hi everyone, I'm Manuldee and today I will be giving you a literary analysis on the novel Tuesdays with Morrie. Before we delve into the literary analysis, let's get to know more about the author, Mitch Albom. Now, Mitch Albom is obviously the author of Tuesdays with Morrie, but he is also a journalist. His other famous works include Timekeeper and The Five People You Meet in Heaven. Let's first get into the summary of Tuesdays with Morrie so we understand what the literary analysis is going to be about. Written by Mitch Albom, Tuesdays with Morrie is a non-fiction book that chronicles the heartfelt journey of Albom as he reconnects with his former college professor, Morrie Schwartz, who is dying of ALS. Through their heartfelt conversations, Morrie shares profound life lessons on family, aging, and death. As Albom listens, he realizes the true value of relationships over material success. This book is a touching reminder to cherish life's simple moments and prioritize what matters. Let's start with the key themes of the novel. Over here I have jotted down 5 key themes. Let's start with life and death. Now, out of all the key themes, for me personally, I think that this is the most important theme that is being talked about throughout the book, because it is quite evident that Morrie accepts death and he thinks that it is a natural phenomena of life, whereas Albom, especially in the very beginning, thinks that life must be pursued in a way where we must be always successful rather than prioritizing certain aspects like family and friends. Love and human connection. As mentioned, that Mitch said that he doesn't prioritize his family as much as he should. Morrie, on the other hand, does, because he believes that true happiness comes from deep relationships rather than success elsewhere. Acceptance and forgiveness. Now, Morrie has been very encouraging on the fact that we must understand the true power of letting go of regrets, or rather bad moments of your life. It is way easier to just forgive and move on so that we can all live a fulfilling life. Number 4, society and materialism. The novel critiques society's focus on wealth, emphasizing that true fulfillment comes from relationships and personal growth. It is quite often that society makes us believe certain things where we must act a certain way or behave a certain way. However, the novel very much signifies that we must not seek after other people's opinions and rather just our own opinion of ourselves and be the most authentic version. Learning and personal growth. What I loved most, or really one of the aspects that I loved most about the book, is Albom's self-reflection of himself. It is quite evident that he realizes that there are so much more important things than formal education, like his personal growth and increment of his emotional wisdom. Moving on, let's talk about the writing style portrayed in the novel by Mitch Albom. Number 1, he used a lot of simple sentence structures. A lot of people try, or rather a lot of authors try to make their sentence structures very much complex. But since Albom used clear, informative style all throughout his writing, it made us readers feel that it is easy to read this book, prompting us to understand what is being displayed in the book. Now, he also used powerful word choice. Certain words can truly impact anyone, but Mitch's words usage all throughout the book truly impacted me in several ways. The emotional language makes Morrie's wisdom more impactful and memorable, which is why when we read certain things in the book where Morrie talks about, for example, how we must let go of certain aspects of life and not be regretful in life, that wordings or that the way Mitch portrayed Morrie's words of wisdom really spoke to me because of his powerful word choice. Moving on to the use of literary devices. Literary devices is not an easy type of writing style to portray or rather use because it includes a lot of several backpoints while when you're considering what exact literary device you must use. However, Mitch Albom was easily able to use this literary device and bring it into action using flashbacks, symbolism, and repetition in order to highlight key themes. Emotional and thought-provoking. The writing evoked some sort of deep emotion within me, and it encouraged self-reflection upon myself. So, lastly, dialogue-driven narrative. One of the most important aspects in the book is the dialogues being discussed back and forth between Morrie and Mitch, because it makes us as the readers feel as if we are in the book talking with Morrie and Mitch, discussing life and discussing certain aspects of the book and certain messages. This makes the whole story feel authentic and personal. Now let's move on to the plot development. Reunion and weekly meetings. All throughout the book, as the weekly meetings go by, we can easily see that the way Mitch especially thinks is quite different. Moving on to the meetings itself, we as the readers get to learn a lot of new things on how to live life authentically, which is very important for the development of the plot, because this factor makes us readers understand the purpose of life, or rather the book itself. Morrie's declining death. It is quite evident from the very beginning, to be honest, that Morrie is someone who understands life in a completely different eye. Even though he is on his deathbed, he lives life, or rather views life, in such an exceptional, amazing way. And it shows the true character of how he is able to live life and push through life despite the hardships he went through. Mitch's transformation. Now, this is one of my favorite aspects of the book, and it also shows ambiguity because from the very beginning we are able to see that Mitch was someone completely different compared to how he is now, or rather at the end of the book. Mitch was able to eventually understand how to live life truthfully and authentically. Moving on to Morrie's passing and lasting impact. Despite the fact that Morrie is not here with us now, it is so evident, or rather we can easily discuss the fact that Morrie has given us an everlasting impression through his words of wisdom. His morals or his values that was being expressed all throughout the book made a certain impact in my life, which made me reflect on my own life and readers all around the world. Moving on, let's talk about the character development. Mitch Albom. Undoubtedly, Mitch Albom is definitely my favorite character all throughout the book, because we are able to see his transformative journey from being a person who chased materialistic success to chasing something far more important, which is living life in an authentic manner. Morrie Schwartz. Morrie Schwartz's personality or his character development all throughout the book made me realize or understand that he is truly a man of his word, because he portrays some sort of wisdom, or rather a vast amount of wisdom, from the beginning up until the end. It is also important to note that despite him dying on his deathbed, he was very much positive all throughout, discussing certain themes with Mitch. Mitch and Morrie's relationship is a very special relationship, and it is probably one of the most important aspects of the book, because without their relationship or without their discussions, we wouldn't necessarily get this book, or rather this work of art. It is important to note that Mitch respects Morrie in a completely different sense compared to how he did when he was a student of Mitch's. Thank you for listening, or rather watching, my presentation on the literary analysis of the book Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. I hope you enjoyed it.